It's here, the Liberty A-League Grand Final, and we're celebrating the biggest year for women's football. Watch the best go all in at the Grand Final on 30th of April before they take on the world. Are you all in? Search A-League's tickets.
Here's McCaskill in the right place, at the right time again, and she scores a double in the Grand Final. Stanton near post, all the way through, and the shot is in. Here come the Perth Glory, and it's game on again. To kick things off in the 11th W-League Grand Final. Coming your way from Sydney, the Sky Blues earning hosting rights after finishing the regular season in third spot and then knocking off Brisbane last week. Perth, well, they beat the minor premiers, the Melbourne Victory, in that incredible showpiece last Sunday afternoon. Here's Ali Green. A somewhat surprising selection at left back in the last couple of weeks, but she hasn't put a foot wrong.
No, she hasn't, and she took over Amy Harrison, which is a huge, I guess, miss for Sydney FC today. A huge talking point for me. And she played against Melbourne City, had a bad game, and Ali Green has now stepped up, and true to his word, Ante Juric is basically reward for performance, and he's done that, and he's stood by that all season. You see, that's why Princess Abini is starting over Lisa Devana.
Bledsoe with a hurried clearance, good enough to find the feet of Chloe Lagazo. Now Kennedy works an angle to Sofia Huerta. Now Ford. Able to poke one through, back to Lagazo, featured twice in this move already. Now Ford wants it early, and Huerta, well, that pass is going to find its way through to Princess Abini. In goal-scoring form this season. And a chance! McCaskill! Couldn't finish it off, and Ford had a chance. Well, the flag goes up eventually here, but the goal would have stood if McCaskill had finished it off. What a dream start that would have been for the hosts.
Well, Sydney FC asking questions early. You can see Princess Abini loves to stay out wide, and she starts her attack from there. She does enough to be able to beat Rigby. It gets a great ball into McCaskill, who can't finish it, and she's got to do better there in front of goal. You can see she probably wasn't ready for it. There's that ball in again. She's been so good out wide for Sydney FC, and you don't get a better ball than that, McCaskill.
The right back. Ali Green. That'll find McCaskill. Trying to tee up Huerta! What a belter! In the Grand Final! From Sofia Huerta! Their US international has put one in the top corner, giving Eliza Campbell no chance. And her fourth goal of the campaign is the best by a long, long way. The 26-year-old American with a stunner.
This is a strike of the highest quality. Look how they're able to get the overlap. They're always able to get her in, linked into the play. So Sofia Huerta makes that run down the right-hand side, takes one touch to set herself up and smacks it top right. You can see Eliza Campbell could do nothing but watch that go in.
Ships it towards the penalty spot. Kerr! Well, she scored two-headed goals last time these teams met, and that wasn't too far away.
Well, that's the threat that she poses, isn't it? You can see Sydney FC was set up zonally here, a couple of man-on-man marking up the top of the box. You can see she doesn't need to actually get too much of a run-up to generate that power that we're so used to seeing her get up and make something out of nothing.
Awkward for Ralston, gave it away to Kerr. What a cutback that is. Picked out McKenna, who was perhaps a little surprised by Kerr's ability to find her. Now Mort's having a crack. And she can't find the top corner. And somehow, through the legs of Ford. Away by Green, only as far as Stanton, who was still retrieving her position after taking the corner. Interesting ball into Shannon May, who hasn't scored too many goals. Kerr has, though. She's won a penalty. The chance to hit right back for the visitors. Kate Jakowitz with no hesitation, and there's no complaints from Colaprico. The two-time reigning Julie Dolan medalist, surely set to make it a hat-trick of gongs at the awards night in a few months' time. But for now, her focus on levelling things up. The 25-year-old superstar, Sam Kerr! Well, Bledsoe picked the right way, but Kerr was not to be denied. And we're level in the grand final. And this stellar campaign for Sam Kerr continues. A record 17 goals in one season.
Well, who else but Captain Sam Kerr? She steps up, as you said, Bledsoe gets a touch on that, gets picks aside too. So disappointing for a keeper.
Able to pluck that out of the sky and look to release McCaskill. Able to link up with Huerta. What an engine she has. She's seen the space for McCaskill. Working hard to track down the runaway train and earn her team a corner.
Well, you can see anything that has been good about Sydney FC. Sophia Huerta has been involved from right back. See, making that overlapping run, getting that extra player.
Colaprico about to deliver, hangs it up, takes Campbell out of play. In by 4, didn't get the connection she was after, and then Kennedy committed the foul. Good rise by Huerta over the top of Kerr there, but there's another flick from Hill, right onto the chest of Kerr. And the shot's not bad either. Bledsoe had to be sharp. It's a joy to watch, Hill and Kerr.
Well, Sam Kerr has started that run in from deep, and everyone predicts where it's going to go. You can see here, finds the chest of Sam Kerr, and that's Sophia Huerta, who's not slow. But there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. You can just apply a little bit of pressure and hope that she doesn't get power on it. And this time, Sophia Huerta does just enough. The cover defence for Milana Kennedy.
Kennedy's gone forward here. One of the targets for Polias. She's found her as well. Kennedy with the flick on. Gee, that's a good pick out by Polias with a 45-metre ball.
I like that about Sydney FC. They take those risks. Pushing up their centre half to attack that ball. It's a great ball in here from Teresa Polias.
Easily read by Colaprico. Now there's some space for Ford once more. Going early to McCaskill. Oh, the header is brilliant! What a goal! She is such a clever player. Savannah McCaskill with her third-headed goal of the season. But how many players in world football would have known that was a possibility there? Too clever for Eliza Campbell, and Sydney FC lead again.
Well, what about the ball that's been played in? Eliza Campbell caught off the line, but McCaskill has the nous. The nous to just play this on, allow it to just skim off her head. Caitlin Ford puts an absolutely exquisite ball in. And McCaskill, the awareness to know that Eliza Campbell was out just to help this one on. You're taught that as a striker. Don't bring it down if you don't need to. Use the pace of the ball, and she does just that. Yeah, she puts her team ahead here.
Oh, Ford, brilliant. Flipped it over Gale, and now she releases McCaskill, whose heart rate must be through the roof after celebrating that goal. She's looking for Ford. And Campbell backtracks well that time. Number 1 in completed crosses this season. Looking for Kerr or Mortz. It was Mortz who got on the end of it. He hasn't scored since round 4. 4 goals in the first 4 rounds, but goalless since that 5-2 win over Melbourne City in late November.
Well, it's a tough gig playing up against, playing with those two. We talked about the number of assists between those two, Rachel Hill and Sam Kerr. There's really no room for Mortz.
Are you not entertained? What a first half in the W League Grand Final. Sam Kerr with her 17th goal of the season. It came from the penalty spot. That was the equaliser, but Savannah McCaskill is such a smart player. And it was on display as she put the home team back in front in the big one. At half-time at Sydney FC 2, Perth Glory 1. So So Sydney FC with a 2-1 lead heading into the second half. There's Puerta, who opened the scoring, and she's right on the front foot again. Decent ball in too, and that's an important header away by Rigby. Well, many were predicting a shootout today, Sarah Walsh, and we're seeing one with 3 goals in the first half.
Yeah, both very attacking teams here again, getting that overlap with Sophia Huerta.
This time going along the deck for Lagazo. It spins the way to the favour of Campbell and breaks the hearts of Ford and McCaskill. Come-in spinner for Perth.
Well, I'm not sure if we're going to get to see a change here at left back for Perth Glory, but Gaz been caught out too many times flat-footed and not anticipating the running behind.
That time May came across to just head off Puerta at the pass, but she's good enough to deliver that kind of pass to Abini. Look at Princess go. Still Princess Abini. Oh, the shot was goal bound, and it's a great save by Campbell. Across in plenty of time, but Abini is such an accurate shooter.
Well, the youngster was always going to get this on her right foot. You can see she was always going to cut inside, but she gets the power off balance too, forcing the save from Eliza Campbell. One of the real issues for Perth Glory is the gap between their midfield and defence is way too big.
Colaprico just breaking into the US women's national team. Delivers deep. Kennedy couldn't get it back across goal. She's copped a whack, and she's just seeing a little blurry stuff at the moment after running into Kerr's shoulder. Frico towards the penalty spot. Seen clear by Norton. Hooked back in by Puerta. Here's McCaskill in the right place at the right time again, and she scores a double in the grand final. This special talent out of the United States of America, out of South Carolina, doing it on the big stage. She looks like a big game player, and boy is she delivering. Savannah McCaskill makes it 3-1.
Well, she's turning it on for the local fans here. You can see how quickly she thinks. She's onside here, not involved in the play, brings it down and takes it forward, always thinking positively. And then she slots it home. Far post, look at this, always looking to take it forward. Shanna May gets an unfortunate touch, but she has the smarts to hit this far post. She's ever the opportunist. You've got to be in the right time, in the right place.
Haskell's offside ahead of Ford here, so she knew she had to take players on, and she's good enough to do that, Caitlin Ford. In the middle, Colaprico, and that time Campbell stayed on the line. Stanton near post, all the way through, and the shot is in! Here come the Perth Glory! Stanton combines with her fellow American. Alyssa Mortz has her first goal since round 4, and it's game on again.
Well, she attacks this one perfectly, connects even better, and it was an exceptional cross in with this corner in here from Stanton. Placed beautifully. Look at that, just dips it up over the keeper. You can see here there was a little bit of static defending, it was a little bit reactionary from Sydney FC. It's an excellent finish here from Mortz. She had to dip that one over the keeper, and she does. Oh, the crowd is quiet. Well, we stated the obvious, saying that Perth Glory weren't out of this, but they've definitely dipped in and out of this match. They lose confidence and can't keep the ball, but it doesn't matter when you get an opportunity to...
Haskell. Mortz. Lagazo! 2-goal buffer restored, and Chloe Lagazo thumps one in. Too hot to handle for Eliza Campbell, and the Matildas star keeps the shot down with exquisite technique to make it 4-2 Sydney FC.
Well, this is an exceptional strike here. You can see Perth Glory switched off a little bit. They thought that McCaskill was kept out wide. Mortz doesn't clear it well enough, and Chloe Lagazo off balance, back to goal. Hits this exquisitely. Eliza Vanessa Campbell can't get there quick enough, can't get a touch on it. Or she does in the end, actually, but the power was too much to handle.
Helped on by Kerr. Hill around Ralston is she? Well, Ralston came again and gets the decision as well. Hill trying a little too hard to make something happen in the opposition area. Here's Kerr, and a stumble by Ralston. She's one-on-one with Kennedy here. What can Sam Kerr produce? Away by Palana, she lent her hand. Back in by Mortz, and Kennedy stepped up. Oh, nearly found the casket as well. Doesn't want to let Kerr and Hill and Mortz find their groove down the stretch here, but here goes Sammy around Green. Clipping one, important moment for Harrison. Didn't get the head of that far clear. Follow-up work and get the handball against Hill. An examination pass for Amy Harrison. The pressure was on there. Trademark captain's knock. Elias, Moreno, Green, upended by Kerr. A bit of room as a result. Looking for Hill, she found her. And Pluto kept out the header, she was offside anyway.
How does she find her?
Time ticking away from the Glory. They'll be looking for a big chunk of stoppage time. I wouldn't have thought there'd be much more than 4. Hill, Kerr waits in the middle. Bledsoe punches clear. Moreno, big chance, and she chipped it right underneath it.
Isn't she exciting?
And it is a record equaling 3rd championship for Sydney FC. Ante Juric, a champion again with a champion team, full of stars. Caitlin Ford, one of the Aussies out there for Sydney FC, not a goal scorer today. It was their Americans who stole the show. Sophia Huerta with a cracking opening goal, set the tone, and Savannah McCaskill came up with 2 today. Chloe Lagazzo with a belter as well. Perth Glory came up with 1 equaliser from Sam Kerr, her 17th of the season. Alyssa Mortz scored the other, a classy finish too. But a 6-goal shootout is won by FC 4, Perth Glory 2.
W League Championship trophy to go with her teammates. They will lift it proud. Congratulations to the Westfield W League 2019 champions, Sydney FC.
It's here, the Liberty A-League Grand Final, and we're celebrating the biggest year for women's football. Watch the best go all in at the Grand Final on 30th of April before they take on the world. Are you all in? Search A-League's tickets.